Hi. Corona and lockdown has brought all our lives to halt, and we're all going through the same phase, the same expectations that we all would want to get out of this as soon as possible, and we're doing our best. So, same time, it's been a lifetime experience. So, a lot of things to learn and explore and understand, if not outside, maybe inside. And today I would like to talk about something that I experienced during this lockdown, and that has got to do with nature. So, yeah. So before lockdown, I've been used to hearing about a lot of activism about nature and environment conservation and climate change. But same time, there are people who are active and into activism, but at the same time, rest of the world was busy in probably pursuing their own interests and requirements and needs. And yes, there was a lot of pollution in the air and to our water bodies, and also a lot of destruction and disruptions to life on earth, on land, and the trees and the wild. So, and suddenly we have this lockdown, and the whole world has come to a standstill. And now when I sit inside my premises and look outside, there's something that is being obvious but not visible. Maybe that's something got to do with the life out there in the environment around us. So all of a sudden there is no movement. All of a sudden there is no dumping and emission. All of a sudden there is no destruction and encroachment. So yeah, this is something that's nice, and I feel that the air is cleaner just because the number of vehicles on the road are very less. We are not on the road, and also the number of industries that are sending out toxic gases out there is very less or hardly any. And the same way, we also have clean water because again, the industrial toxic waste getting into our water bodies has reduced, and at the same time, even our trash from the drainages joining the water bodies is also reduced a lot, because we are not using a lot, we are not consuming a lot, we are not throwing a lot. So that in that way, water bodies are enriched, or at least getting better, and so is the land. I'm sure our friends out there, other than humans, are more free and more fearless and more happy. They got a lot of space and to move around, and also that there are no projects of development, and in other sense there is no deforestation, encroachment, and cutting off the hills and trees and rivers and all of that. So for a change, we have been locked down. We have been locked down in our spaces just because we are scared of. There is some fear of our own life. So we have withdrawn from the nature and the environment. But in the process, there's something really good happening for the environment. The kind of plastic, I'm sure if I'm not wrong, something around 30,000 tons, or say like 30 lakh tons in fact, is the kind of plastic trash we dump every day in this country, something like that. And imagine that would have come down at least up to 80%. So that would be a huge difference into the kind of trash and plastic we are dumping around into our environment. So overall it's been amazing. So I'm sure there's a kind of revitalization or regeneration of environment happening around. So since we've been able to do this, so any habit formation takes some time. So due to our own condition and situation, that we now it matters for us to save our own lives. So we withdrawn from the environment. We are doing minimal activity, we are doing minimal consumption. So that means a lot of good things for the environment. So at least what I feel is when we get back there, we are going to get back there soon, but when we get back there, probably we can remember and keep these experiences and learnings, take it forward along with us as we get back to normal lives, and have some kind of restraint and reduce the kind of activity or the kind of dumping and releasing and destruction that we are doing. So maybe we can reduce on the plastic usage, maybe we can reduce on the movement that we do, and therefore the fuel emissions, because we now understand it's not necessary for us to actually move as much that we used to do before. We also can reduce on what we consume, because now we are used to minimal consumption, so we understand that we don't really need to consume as much that we used to consume. That means reduce consumption means reduce waste and thrash. So we also understand that we have life without industries and emissions and pollution. We have life without cutting the trees and deforestation. And it does really matter. If we see now, it's the nature that's taking care of us. And at least in these times where we are concerned more about our own lives. So I think it's also to think about the life around us beyond humans, and also take care of the nature too. So probably this pandemic or this crisis gives us some kind of awareness and concern to not just about ourselves. We need to come out of this selfishness of always thinking about ourselves, the humans out here, and pursuing our interests and of consumption and using and whatever we want from the environment, just for fulfilling our needs of wants, but we also can definitely take care of certain things, reduce certain things, so that the life on earth would be better for all, not just for us. So Corona has taught us that it's not just about most of us, but it's about all of us, because everyone matters. So in the same way, it's not about just the humans, it's about the environment and everything, every small life out there in the environment, and everyone does matter. So we can take care, minimum movement, minimum consumption, minimum wastage, minimum destruction, minimum, and if possible, we can contribute a little by more planting and more growing our own food, and more being more conscious about the nature and the environment. I think this is some lovely message or the learning or the experience from this lockdown due to Corona. Thank you very much.